Hello, good morning everyone. So in the previous class we have discussed about the estimation of the stormwater flow using rational methods and empirical methods. Okay. So in today's class we will learn about the sewer materials and different pipe materials used in the sewerage system. Okay. See, there are various materials which we can use for the construction of the sewers. Okay. So we can have the asbestos cement sewer, we can have the sewers made up of bricks, we can have the cast iron sewers, cement concrete sewers. It can be plain or reinforced. Usually reinforcement is provided if the diameter is more and if more strength is required in case of sewerage system. Then corrugated iron sewer, stoneware sewers, steel sewers, plastic sewers and wooden sewers. Okay, so based on our requirement, the diameter, based on the flow characteristics, based on the place of usage in the underground, based on the conditions of the soil or based on the purpose of the sewerage system, so we will select the material from these things accordingly. Okay. See, what are the essential requirements of a good sewer? Okay. So here cost is one of the important criteria in selecting a material. Okay, so the cost should be minimum as far as concerned. So durability, the sewer should be durable and it should last long. Okay, so because the sewage water which is flowing in the sewer, it may contain acids, alkalis, or it may contain some strong solvents which having high pH or low pH. Okay, so and sometimes the industrial wastewater may be having high temperature and it could be discharging some chemicals which are corrosive in nature. So considering all these points, we should select a sewer material which should be durable and it should last long. Okay, then impervious. Okay, so this is very important parameter in a design of a good sewer, because infiltration and exfiltration, as we have discussed, so it should not happen. Okay, the sewer should be, as far as possible, it should be impervious in nature so as to avoid this infiltration and exfiltration problems. Okay, and also while joining the sewers, okay, so the joints of the joints in a sewerage should also be impervious in nature, because joints are usually the weakest parts whenever due to the any overburden pressure or due to the movement of heavy vehicles onto the road, because most of the sewers are laid underground. The joints are the weaker things in a sewerage system, and whatever the joints we are making or joining by two sewers of same material or different material, then it should be impervious in nature so as to avoid the problem of the exfiltration and infiltration, and it should be resistant to corrosion. Okay, so like I was telling, the sewerage system, it carries mostly the municipal wastewater in case of municipal sewers, or in case of industrial sewers, so it may carry the corrosive liquid. Okay, so in that case it should also be resistant to the corrosion happening due to extreme chemical reactions or high or low pH or hot due to the release of hot effluents, and it should also be resistant to abrasion. Okay, like we have discussed, the wastewater contains 99.9% of water and 0.1% of solids. So those solids may be organic or inorganic in nature. The inorganic nature contains the sand and grit particles. Okay, so they don't change their shape and size, and also if these solids move in a high velocity in the sewers, then it may cause the abrasive action due to the high velocity, and the sewer material whatever you are selecting, it should also be resistant to the abrasion. Okay, then weight, it is an important parameter whenever we have to transport the sewers from one place to another, because so we have to get the sewers from the factories to the place of its installation. So in that case the weight will come into picture. Okay, so as far as possible it should be light in weight, and it should be easy in handling and transportation, even at the site and also during the transportation from the place of its inception to the place of construction of the sewers or to the project site. Okay, so strength is like most of the sewers are laid underground, so they are subjected to heavy external loads. Okay, and also in soft soils there are chances of depressing the sewer at some points. This may create beam action in the sewer line. Okay, so due to the overburden pressure of the soil and also due to the movement of heavy external vehicles, these sewers should have sufficient strength. Okay, so that's the reason the sewer should be made from strong material. Okay, next coming to the asbestos sewers. Okay, so asbestos sewers are manufactured using the mixture of asbestos filter, silica and cement. Okay, so these are the fibers. So these fibers in these sewers will act as a reinforcement material. Okay, and these pipes are available in the sizes of 10 to 100 centimeter internal diameter and length up to a 4 meter length. Okay, so these pipes can easily assembled without skilled labor with the help of special coupling called ring tie coupling or simplex joint. Okay, here not only the sewer materials are important, the respective joints are also important, because so joints, as I told you, is the weaker section wherein this infiltration and exfiltration problem occurs. So that's the reason the joints are also important in case of the sewerage system. The pipes and joints are resistant to corrosion, and the joints are flexible to permit 12-degree deflection for curved laying. Like these asbestos sewers have some resistance to corrosion, and also these are little flexible as it may contain some of the fibers. Okay, so that's the reason it avoids some rigidity here in case of this asbestos cement sewers. Okay, so these pipes are used for vertical transport of water, for example transport of rainwater from roofs in multi-storied buildings, for transport of sewage to grounds, and for transport of less foul sewage, that is wastewater from kitchens and bathrooms. Okay, so these are specific uses of this asbestos sewer. Like I told you, based on our usage requirement, the velocity and the quantity and the type of the wastewater the pipe carries, we have to select the material accordingly. Okay, so these are some of the specific uses of this asbestos cement sewers. So this is the picture which I have collected somewhere. Okay, so these are the asbestos cement sewers. Okay, so this you might have seen in individual residential buildings which runs from the rooftops for collecting the storm water and diverting it to a sewerage system. Okay, so what are the advantages and disadvantages of these asbestos cement sewers? Okay, so these pipes are light in weight and hence they are easy to carry and transport. Okay, and they are easy to cut and assemble without any skilled labor. Okay, and the interior is smooth, that is Manning's coefficient is here in case of asbestos cement sewer is 0.011, hence can make excellent hydraulically efficient sewer. Okay, so disadvantages include these pipes are not very strong in terms of structural, because it may not contain any of the reinforcement and all, so that's why they are little bit brittle in nature, and these are susceptible to corrosion by sulfuric acid. When bacteria produces the H2S in presence of water, the sulfuric acid is formed. Okay, and this sulfuric acid will lead to the corrosive action in the sewerage system, so which will disintegrate the sewer material, and this is not resistant to the acidic action of this sulfuric acid. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of asbestos cement sewer. Coming to brick sewers, So brick sewers are usually, they are made at site using the bricks, burnt clay bricks. Okay, so they are used for construction of large size sewers. Okay, so nowadays these brick sewers are replaced by concrete sewers because lot of labor is involved in the construction of brick sewers. Okay, this is also one of the reason, and also the construction of brick sewers takes time. Here nowadays, okay, due to the fast moving construction technologies, okay, so people cannot wait for more days, okay, for the sewers to be constructed, because more area is to be served, and also the population has to be disturbed, and the traffic movement has to be disturbed. So this the time involvement in the construction of brick sewers is quite large. So that's why, so nowadays they are being replaced by the concrete sewers. Okay, this material is used for construction of large size combined sewers, are particularly for storm water drains. Okay, so the pipes are plastered from outside to avoid entry of tree roots and groundwater through brick joints. Okay, so these brick sewers are plastered from outside once after the construction is over. Okay, so that is to avoid the entry of tree roots, because so most of the sewers, as you know, they are laid underground. The tree roots may start to penetrate, okay, if from the joints of the bricks. Okay, that is the reason they are plastered from outside, so that these tree roots cannot penetrate into the sewers through the brick joints. Okay, so which may cause the infiltration and exfiltration problems. Okay, so these are lined from inside with stoneware or ceramic block to make them smooth and hydraulically efficient. Okay, see, you can observe the most important parameters here is the hydraulically efficient sewer, that is the surface should be smooth as far as possible, so as to facilitate the easy movement of the wastewater flowing into the sewer. So that is why, as far as possible, the sewer should be hydraulically efficient, so that the self cleansing velocity can be easily achieved. Okay, if the material inside surface of the sewer is hard, then it creates some resistance, so that the velocity will be reduced. Okay, so that's the reason. So these brick sewers, because brick material is little bit coarser, so that is the reason they are lined with stoneware from inside. Okay, and this lining also make the pipe resistant to the corrosion, because this may be susceptible to the corrosion due to the movement of the hot effluents or any other corrosive liquid in the sewerage system. So this the coating or lining will have some resistance against the corrosion. Okay, so this is the picture of the brick sewer. Okay, as you can see, it is made up of the bricks. Okay, and this you can see, because of the corrosive action, you can see the the material is slowly it has started degraded, or some deposition has taken place. Okay, so whereas this is the whole area, so from this is the inside surface, from the outside it may be plastered. Okay, sometimes the inside layer may also be softened using the clay material or vitrified material to make it more hydrologically efficient. Okay, so then we have the cast iron sewers. Okay, so these pipes are stronger and capable to withstand greater tensile, compressive as well as bending stress. Okay, but relatively these are comparatively costly. Okay, so these cast iron pipes, that's why are used for outfall sewers. Okay, that is, we have studied the different types of sewers like lateral main sewer, lateral sewer, branch sewer, outfall sewer. Okay, so outfall sewer is usually the end of the sewerage system. It is a bigger sewer which will discharge the wastewater into the river, ocean, or any water body, or it can be also, it will discharge its contents into a sewage treatment plant. Okay, so this is usually used for such kind of outfall sewers, and also for rising mains of pumping stations and inverted siphons where pipes are running under pressure. That means mostly these are used in in case of the water supply systems or rising mains, where you have the sometimes you may have to pump the sewer. In that case, the sewers which are running under high pressure, so this cast iron sewers are used because of the greater tensile and compressive strength. Okay, so they are also suitable for sewers under heavy traffic load, such as sewers below railways and highways. Okay, so like most of the sewerage network below will be below the ground level. Okay, so you may have different superstructures above the coming up above the ground, like you may be having a railway station, or you may be having the highways, so under which these sewer lines pass. Okay, so under such circumstances where we need high strength, so this cast iron material can be used. Okay, that is below the railways and highways, wherein there will be movement of heavy railway wagons, and the movement of high heavily loaded trucks and other vehicles. Under such circumstances, this cast iron sewers can be used. Okay, they are also used for carrying over piers in case of low lying areas. Okay, so they form 100% leak proof sewer line to avoid groundwater contamination. Okay, so as you know, the cast iron is it is completely watertight, and the joints can also be made watertight by proper welding and other things, and this makes the pipe material 100% leak proof. Okay, so they are less resistant to corrosion, hence generally lined from inside with cement, concrete, coal tar paint, epoxy, etc. Okay, so that is this to make it less resistant, because it is made up of iron. Iron, as you know, when it comes in contact with water, so it generally leads to corrosion. That's why the inside surface of this cast iron sewers are coated or lined with the cement, concrete, or coal tar paint, or some epoxy coatings. Okay, so these are usually joined together by bell and spigot joint as per IS 1536 1989. Okay, and IS 1537 19736. It provides the specification for spun and vertically cast pipes, respectively. That is, the joints, the bell and spigot joint will be made. Okay, so these are the cast iron sewers of different diameters. As you can see, this is the cast iron. Okay, an older pipe, you can see the diameter is getting reduced because of this corrosive action of the sewerage system. That is, their life may be shorter. Okay, if the inside lining gets damaged due to some reason, due to the passage of the time. Okay, and also the soil moisture which is there, it may also cause the corrosion to the cast iron pipes. Okay, then we have this plain cement concrete or RCC pipes. Okay, so plain cement concrete in the ratio of 1:1:5:3 pipes are available up to 0.45 meter diameter, and reinforcement cement pipes are available up to 1.8 meter in diameter. That's if the diameter is small, we can have the plain cement concrete pipes. Okay, if the diameter goes on increases, okay, to make the circular shape in position, then we have to provide the reinforcement. That is, we can go up to 1.8 meters of bigger size diameter pipes which can be reinforced. Okay, so these pipes can be cast in situ, okay, or precast pipes. So precast pipes are better in quality than cast in situ pipes. Okay, so sometimes at the site itself we can cast this, okay, based on our requirements in the sizes and all. Okay, and sometimes it can also be precast in on a precasting yard, and it can be brought to the site. Okay, so anything can be possible, and it can be an in situ construction as well. The reinforcement in these pipes can be different, such as single cage or double cage reinforcement. If it is used for single cage reinforcement, so it is used for internal pressure of less than 0.8 meter. Okay, so if it is used for both internal and external pressure, then we can have the double cage reinforcement. Okay, so elliptical cage reinforcement pipes used for larger diameter sewer subjected to the external pressure. Okay, so based on our requirement, based on the soil conditions and overburden pressure, so we can have the reinforcement accordingly. And also Hume pipes are available in the market. So Hume pipes with steel shells coated with concrete from inside and outside. Okay, a nominal longitudinal reinforcement of 0.2% is provided in case of these Hume pipes. Okay, so these are most popular, and they are widely used in case of the sewerage system. Okay, that is these Hume pipes, which is consisting of a 0.2% of nominal reinforcement, which is coated from both inside and outside with concrete. Okay, so these are cement concrete sewer pipes, as you can see. Okay, so this is the bell end and this is the spigot end. Okay, so these are having the sizes according of, this is, here you can see clearly this is the bell end. Okay, so the mouth is relatively wider here, so that's why this is called as bell end, and this end of the pipe is called as spigot end. So whenever you are joining the sievers, okay, so this spigot end is placed into this bell end, and this is sealed with cement mortar to make the joint leak proof. And this is the reinforcement, okay, single cage or double cage reinforcement, which can be made as per the requirement of the. Then what are the advantages of this concrete pipe? Okay, so these concrete, it can be made strong in tension as well as in compression, because if you reinforce the cement concrete with the steel, then it becomes strong in tension as well as in compression, and this can be resistant to erosion and abrasion. They can be made of any desired strength, because so it is cast in situ, or we are going to design with appropriate reinforcement or grade of the cement. So we have the freedom to decide its strength based on our requirement. Then it can be easily molded, and it can be in situ or pre-cast. Okay, so that is, it can be in situ based on the site conditions. It can be molded as per the requirement. It is economical for medium and large sizes. These pipes are available in wide range of size, and the trench can be opened and backfilled rapidly during maintenance of the sievers. Okay, so some of the disadvantages of these concrete pipes are, so these pipes can get corroded and pitted by the action of H2SO4, that is, since it contains steel and also the concrete is susceptible for corrosion. Okay, so that is one of the disadvantage. The carrying capacity of the pipe reduces with time because of the corrosion. So it is for obvious reason that as soon as the corrosion starts, the carrying capacity starts to reduce. The pipes are susceptible to erosion by sewage containing silt and grit. Okay, so like I told you, 0.1% may contain organic and inorganic solids. The inorganic part will usually lead to the will cause the corrosion, okay, or erosion in the pipes. Okay, the concrete sievers can be protected internally by vitrified clay lining. Okay, so this can be made to making it hydraulically efficient. Okay, so with protection lining, they are used for almost all the branch and main sievers. Only high alumina cement concrete should be used when pipes are exposed to corrosive liquid like sewage. Okay, so like sewage will contain H2SO4. As soon as the decomposition in the sewage system starts, it will lead to the formation of H2S and other gases. So this H2S, when it combines with water, it lead to the formation of a strong acid, that is H2SO4, so which will corrode the pipe. Okay, so in that case, it will be lined with vitrified clay, and we have to use high alumina cement, so that which can prevent little corrosion. Then we have this corrugated iron sievers. So they are used for storm sievers. The sievers should be protected from the effects of corrosion by galvanization or by bituminous coatings. Okay, so wherever we have this iron material, then definitely it has to be coated inside or outside with some methods, like by coal tar or by some bituminous coating or by a process of galvanization, so that this long life of this pipe can be extended. Also to make it more durable, then we have to do the galvanization or bituminous coating. So they are made in varying metal thicknesses and in diameters up to 4 cm. Then we have this plastic sievers. Okay, so nowadays, so these plastic sievers are most common in almost every house. Okay, you might have seen in your residential houses that we use most of the PVC pipe fittings and all for running, for using hot waters or for the pipelines of your house connections. Then they are available in various sizes, ranging from 75 to 315 mm external diameter, and also they are used in drainage works. Okay, so they offer very smooth internal surface. The additional advantages they offer are resistant to corrosion. Okay, so because plastic is not that much corrosive in comparison with this cast iron and steel or the concrete. Then it is very lightweight. Okay, for it is economical in laying and also in transportation, then maintenance of the joining and laying of the pipes. Okay, the pipe is tough and rigid and easy in fabrication and transportation of the the plastic sievers. Okay, so this is because of the low weight and high strength, so these have the advantages and edge over the other pipes. Okay, there are various types and sizes of the sievers which are available in the market. So these are the PVC pipes you might have seen nowadays. Okay, in these sievers in your house connections and for the sewerage connections in case of multi-story buildings and all. So these are some other different type of the plastic sievers, that is corrugated type. Okay, so then we also have HDPE pipes, that is high density polythene pipes. Okay, polyethylene. Use of these pipes or sievers in this is a recent development. So they are not brittle like AC pipes and other pipes, and hence they are hard during loading, unloading and handling. They do not cause any damage. Okay, so these are commonly used for conveyance of industrial wastewater. Okay, they offer all the advantages offered by the PVC pipes. Okay, so this is a high HDPE pipes. Like I told you, the wastewater coming from the domestic sources is different from the industrial sources. The industries may contain the high corrosive liquid, and they may contain high colored material, they may contain some chemically active substances which may damage the pipe material, or they may contain the high temperature liquids. Okay, so to offer against the strength and resistance to all such kinds of material, we need some different material, and HDPE pipes are usually used for carrying the industrial wastewater. These you might have seen. Okay, HDPE pipes, and in Davangere for most of the smart city works they are using these pipes, which you might see the works while the work is going on in and around your city. When you have a closer look when the construction work is going on. Okay, so then we have this steel sievers. Okay, so they are very light weight, they are impervious, and they are resistant to high pressure. Okay, the sievers are flexible and can absorb vibrations and shocks effectively. They are mainly used for trunk or outfall sievers. Okay, that is for the final or bigger sievers. Okay, so as far as possible the riveting should be avoided. So these are used under situations such as pressure main sievers, underwater crossing, bridge crossing, and necessary connections for pumping stations, laying pipes over self-supporting spans, railway crossings, etc. Because so whenever the sievers have to run under high pressure, then we can go for this steel siever. Okay, so they can withstand better internal pressure. They can also resist against impact, load and vibrations better than the concrete cast iron pipes. Okay, so they are more ductile and can withstand water hammering, pressure, etc. from the inside. Okay, so these pipes cannot withstand high external load, and these pipes may collapse when negative pressure is developed in the pipes. Okay, and they are also, as again they are susceptible to corrosion. So that's why they are not generally used for partially flowing sievers. They are protected internally and externally against the action of corrosion with the appropriate coating. Okay, so this is the cast iron siever, and this is the photograph which I have taken. So like I told you, these pipes can be used whenever we have to flow. This is a rising main. Okay, from on the this pipe is located on the Harihara recently constructed Harihara bridge, where we can see this construction is new, and these pipes are laid over a ground. Okay, which is running under pressure. Okay, so this is a closer look of this pipe. Okay, so this is the cast iron pipe, and upon which you can see the coating. Okay, so the bituminous coating is done here to avoid the damage from the external sources. Okay, against the corrosion. Okay, due to the atmospheric air or moisture, and it may cause the corrosion. So then we have this vitrified clay or stoneware sievers. Okay, so they are used for house connection as well as for the lateral sievers. Okay, the size of this pipe is available in the range of 5 cm to 30 cm with an internal diameter and length from 0.9 to 1.2 meter. So these pipes are rarely manufactured for diameter greater than 90 cm. Okay, because of this brittleness. Okay, so they are easily susceptible for the breakages and all due to its brittleness. So these are joined by bell and spigot flexible compression joints. Okay, you might have seen these sievers. These are not generally nowadays used. Okay, so because of if its brittleness and all. Okay, So these are vitrified clay. So they are hydraulically very efficient because of the smooth inside surfaces. Okay, so like you can also see the bell end and spigot end here. In this case, this is the bell end of the pipe and this is the spigot end. So these are made for the joining purposes of the pipes. Okay, so they are resistant to corrosion, hence they are fit for carrying polluted water such as sewage. The interior surface is smooth, like I told you, that is one of its advantage. So these pipes are highly impervious because it is made up of clay. Okay, so they are strong in compression. These pipes are durable and economical for smaller diameter. The pipe material does not absorb water more than 5% of their own weight when immersed in water for 24 hours. Okay, so disadvantages of this pipe material is they are little bit heavy, bulky and brittle, and hence they are difficult to transport. Okay, because of this brittleness in nature of this vitrified clay stone or stoneware clay pipes, so they are susceptible for breakage during its usage or during the transportation. So these pipes cannot be used as pressure pipes because they are weak in tension. Okay, so these require large number of joints as the individual pipe length is small. That is, we cannot make it more with more length. Okay, because of its brittleness. That's why they require more number of the joints. So wooden sievers. So in early stages, these sievers were put into use. So they are difficult to construct and maintain. The life of sievers is short and they are now rarely in use. Earlier, okay, whenever this pipe, the PVC and all, it was not discovered in olden days. Okay, people used to have the wooden sievers. Okay, so now they are usually kept in museum. Just to show you that this can also be a siever material. In olden days, people used the tree branches and all as the similar to the function of the pipelines. Okay, so without the much invention and advancement in olden days, people have also used this. This you can see the wooden siever, which is made up of wood material. Okay, but nowadays we rarely use this. Then we have the other modern type of material. So based on a requirement or type of the liquid which you are carrying, so you can have the CPVC and unplasticized polyvinyl chloride and also the double wall corrugated pipes. Okay, so these are the CPVP and UPVC material, so which nowadays is usually used for most of the house connections, and these are double wall corrugated pipes. Okay, so which are quite flexible and they are also used nowadays for the conveying the water and wastewater. Okay, so now coming to the shape of the sievers. Okay, so the shape comes into picture whenever we have to design the sievers for the self-cleansing and non-storing velocities. Generally, most of the sievers we have seen are usually circular in shape. Okay, so these are designed to flow under gravity. Mostly sievers of circular shape are used in most of the sewerage system because of the fact that it offers least perimeter and hence construction material required is minimum. Again, they are easy to construct and handle. Okay, since it has no corners, there are less chances of deposition of organic matter, because since it is circular, so most of the organic matter, whatever it is flowing, it flows in a centrally, and it is usually taken away along with the flow of the water or wastewater through which the sewer is in operation. They possess excellent hydraulic properties. Okay, so however, sievers of non-circular shapes are also used for the following reasons. So why do we go for the non-circular sievers is the biggest question here. Okay, so what happens? So to maintain this self-cleansing and non-scoring velocities, so like we have discussed in the flow of the sewer, the variations in the flow, so sometimes we have to design the sewer as combined sewer or partially combined sewer. In that case, to maintain this self-cleansing velocity, we have to go for this non-circular sievers. Okay, so whenever the flow is minimum, what happens? The solid starts to settle. In that case, if the areas of the sewer is more, then we cannot achieve this self-cleansing velocity. And also to affect economy in the construction, to increase the headway so that a man can easily enter for repairs and cleaning. Okay, so in most of the systems, sometimes nowadays we have this bucket cleaning and vacuum cleaning machines and all. In olden days, so when there is a blockage or something, You might have also seen in the movies, okay, wherein people enter, through the sewers and big sewers, maybe for cleaning or for some kind of things. Then there should be some headway to enter the sewers. Okay, so there are many non-circular sewers are available. Okay, so out of them, box or rectangular sewers, we have egg-shaped sewers, we have basket handle sections, we have horseshoe type, we have parabolic sewers, we have semicircular sewers, semi-elliptical sewers, and U-shaped sewers. In olden days, we have this box type of sewers by laying concrete at the bottom and constructing the sides with masonry. But nowadays, masonry has been completely replaced by concrete. Okay, so they are usually used for the outfall sewers. They have got relatively high hydraulic mean depth at large flows, and therefore they can have higher velocities when led to the same slope as that of circular or egg-shaped sewer. They are therefore most suitable for large storm water size sewers. Okay, so these are the egg-shaped sewer. Okay, so why this egg-shaped sewer? Like I told you, to maintain the self-cleansing velocity. What happens, as you can see this shape? Okay, so as and when the wastewater or sewage flows into this sewer, okay, so whenever the flow is less, so the flow will takes place in this lower portion of the sewer. Okay, so during this phase, the self-cleansing velocity is achieved. Okay, so whenever it is flowing full, then the self-cleansing velocity can also be achieved. Whenever the flow is small, then only it is a matter of concern. Okay, it is a standard egg-shaped sewer. Okay, so they are mostly suitable in case of combined sewers. The main advantages of this sewer is that it gives a slightly higher velocity during low flow than a circular sewer of the same size. Okay, so imagine if you have a circular sewer, don't imagine this lower portion. So what happens in this case? So here, if it is a circular one, if the flow is less, okay, the liquid will be flowing in this lower portion only. In that case, the solids may start to accumulate here. Okay, so if you have this egg-shaped sewer, then what happens? Even in case of low flow conditions, the self-cleansing velocity is achieved. So that is the important reason wherein we go for non-circular sewers. Okay, so here also the same case, the lower portion is having a lesser area to make it more hydrologically efficient to attain the self-cleansing velocity. Okay, so this is a basket handle section. Similarly, so this is a horseshoe type of section. Okay, so the bottom may be flat, circular, or paraboloid. Its height is more than the width. Okay, height of this sewer is more than the width. It is used for the construction of large sewer with heavy discharge, such as trunk sewers or outfall sewers, and this shape gives the sufficient headroom so that a person can easily enter and work and clear the blockages and all. Okay, here it is a parabolic sewer. In this form of sewer, the upper arch takes the shape of parabola as shown in the figure. The invert of the sewer may be flat, parabolic. Okay, so invert means this is the bottom level. Okay, so it can be parabolic or elliptical in nature. They are used for the disposal of relatively small quantities of sewage. Okay, so this is the semicircular sewer. The semicircular sewer gives a wider care at the bottom, and hence it becomes suitable for construction of large sewers with less available headroom. And nowadays, so they are usually replaced by the rectangular sewers. Okay, so we have something called as semi-elliptical sewers. Okay, so this shape of sewer is more suitable for soft soils. Okay, as they are more stable. So this shape is not suitable for carrying low discharge, and it is normally adopted for sewers having diameter greater than 180 centimeters or so. Okay, so these are semi-elliptical type. So then we have this U-shaped sewers. Okay, the section of U-shaped sewers is as shown in the figure. Okay, so the trench provided at the bottom is called as the cunnet in case of this U-shaped sewer. So these are easily to construct. Their invert may be flat to semicircular. Okay, so this can be flat and also it can be a semicircular one. Okay, and the top may be flat or sometimes it can also be arched. Okay, so this is for again obvious reason that it provides enough headroom and also it provides the good self-cleansing velocity at the low flow conditions. Okay, so these are the different types of pipe materials which we have discussed in today's class. Okay, so based on our requirement, based on the flow conditions, based on the quantities, we have to select the appropriate pipe material, and also we have to select the different non-circular type of sewer if it is required. Okay, so for efficient operation of the sewerage system, it is very much necessary to design the proper sewerage network so as to avoid the problem of flooding, or there should be proper maintenance, and there should also be proper maintenance of the joints and also the entire sewerage system, including manholes and other sewer appurtenances for efficient operation. Okay, so that is why this design of sewerage system is very much essential in order to prevent the humans and other environment related issues, so that the people can be healthy. And that is all for today. Okay, so in the next class we will discuss the further things. Okay, thank you.